This meeting is being recorded.
So today I'm going to be speaking to former teammate Ian Roper, who's a former professional footballer who played for Walsall and Luton. How's it going, mate? You okay?
Yeah, good. Yeah, you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good. Just kind of typical day working, and then obviously got home, jumped on here, and here we are. So talk to me. How's life at the minute? How's things with you?
Yeah, not too bad. Going well. Half term this week, so I'm off all week, so it's not too bad.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah.
So what's your typical day then? What are you up to nowadays?
I'm a learning support assistant at the Isle of Wight College now, so yeah, I'm doing that. So normally typical day starts at 9 o'clock. So working, supporting students with like special educational needs, doing that. Finish around 4ish. So yeah, not too bad.
So in terms of obviously what you're doing now, did you transition into that straight after playing football? Was that always on your mind?
Not really. I think it's since I've moved to the Isle of Wight 3 years ago, it's something I've sort of got into, looking sort of into colleges. As soon as I finished football, I went back to college and then university, managed to get a degree in sports performance and coaching. Oh. And I was looking into sort of roles like that, PE teaching and stuff like that. I did a few going into schools and that, primary schools, coaching in there. So yeah, I've been doing that quite a lot. But once I moved to the island, I've sort of worked with older and like young adults with special educational needs, really. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And you said you've moved to the Isle of Wight a few years ago. So was that always on the cards, or was that something that just kind of came out of the blue, or?
Yeah, it was pretty much out of the blue. Me, youngest daughter, she was just finishing school. She sort of wanted to like have a new start, really. She was going to go to sixth form. We talked about it, wanted a bit of slower pace of life, really, and sort of be by the beach, really. So yeah, sort of. So it's been 3 years now, but it's been good, yeah. And it wasn't really on the cards. It was just like my wife got a job at the college as well before we moved out. So it's sort of, that was the catalyst, really, of like all of us moving out, really.
Wow, sounds great. Talk to me then about your transition from football, because obviously you had a decent career in the game, played at a decent level for quite some time. So how was your transition process? How was your retirement?
It was quite sort of, I'd sort of moved after leaving Kettering. I'd sort of then sort of didn't know what I really wanted to do. It was sort of up in the air. I'd never really thought about, I'd been playing football since, like I said, I was 16, left school, never really thought about the next. Knew that I didn't really want to go back into football doing coaching or anything like that. It wasn't for me. And sort of just then become more interested. I went played non-league, like locally at Bedworth. And like the manager there, he was doing similar going into primary schools, doing before and after school clubs, and so I sort of fell into that and thought about going to college and getting some skills in sort of like coaching and like sports development, getting some qualifications sort of. I did my athletics level 2 coaching course and different stuff like that. So and then I sort of, while I was at college and then university, working in like primary schools, just doing before and after school clubs, really sort of fit it around college and uni, really. And yeah, I enjoyed that, but there was never really sort of the hours a lot of the time to sort of the jobs were sort of only part time, really, sort of. So yeah, it was hard. I sort of at first trying to find a route where to go, really.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so with that, obviously, you mentioned uni and college. How did you find going back to school, so to speak?
Oh, it was yeah, a bit of a challenging time at the first because I went to school. We didn't have computers or anything really when I went to school, so it's like going in and like I think one of the first assignments it was like you need to do a PowerPoint on something or other, and I was like, I don't know how to do a PowerPoint. I've never done a PowerPoint before in my life, so it was a bit. So yeah, I got my daughter, and she was like, "Yeah, this is how you do it." So she was showing me, but I think I picked it up quite quick, and I sort of enjoyed it. And as I was going, I was learning new stuff and things that I was learning. I thought, I wish I'd known that back when I was playing, because some of the stuff would have been beneficial, something like the physiology side of it and stuff. I was like, wow, this is like opened my eyes a little bit, but I was learning, and it just really, and then it was like after the 2 years at college, it was like the next step, do I go and like I could top it up because I was doing a HND at the time, which I got on because of like life experience rather than my qualifications, because I come out of school with nothing sort of thing. And yeah, it was just trying to sort of, and then I thought, well, if I might as well top it up, go a full degree, and that was at Northampton Uni, so it was like trying to then get in, and I enjoyed learning and sort of learning new things. And I think at school, I think I was so focused on becoming a footballer that all the other things sort of took a back seat, really, all my other subjects, so I didn't really put any effort into it. But when finishing football, it sort of really opened my eyes and that.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. And at what stage did you kind of start thinking about like life after sport, life after football? Was it towards the back end of your career, or was that always at the forefront of your mind whilst you were playing?
I think it was probably after. I don't think when I was playing, I don't think there was much done by like clubs or like the PFA or anything really. I think unless you sort of really wanted to focus on coaching and going back into the game, I think there was a lot. I felt there was a lot of that, and I know a couple of teammates did like the journalism course, what they put on the sports journalism. But I didn't feel like there was anything else that if you didn't want to go down that route sort of thing, I didn't feel like I think there probably was out there, but you had to go and look for it rather than they telling you or coming in and advising you. I don't think there was a lot when I was, so I didn't really, wasn't a lot that I sort of knew that I sort of wanted to be in sport or some sort of, but not actually football, back in football itself, really.
Sure, no, I get that. And did you seek any help at all with regards to kind of helping you along the way in your transition process?
I sort of went to like, I think the main thing is I went, because my wife was working at the college at the time where I went and seen a careers advisor there just to see what kind of options. I know the PFA did support me in like paying for some of my HND and like with like the loans and stuff. So yeah, it was good that. But yeah, I didn't really have. I sort of went to the college and got careers guidance off them, really.
Sure. And kind of what advice did they give you during that process?
I think it was just looking at what kind of like courses they could offer, really. It was like I said, they put me on, got me in touch with like the HND, I think it was HND Sports Coaching and Development,
Right.
which was probably because I got no GCSEs whatsoever. It was probably above what they would have, but they said because of life experience, I'd been professional footballer for like 18 years, that they would take me on that. And then sort of, so yeah, it was like, it was a good thing that they did, because I think if not, I don't know, I really don't know what I'd have sort of done. I'm sort of, yeah, I'd have struggled really to think of anything else really.
No, I understand. I mean, yeah, fully understand that. It's very difficult, and obviously when you're playing and you're playing at a decent level and you have been for years, sometimes you're not really thinking about the future. It's always about kind of the here and now. And I still very much think that it's pretty much the same from what I can see nowadays with regards to kind of athletes and transition. There's a lot more data and a lot more information out there, more or less at a touch of a button, so to speak. Whereas our day, maybe you had to go and search and dig a little deeper to get kind of the granular detail that you wanted to get. I mean, obviously you played, like you said, 17, 18 years as a professional. So what transferable skills do you think you've taken from kind of sport to kind of what you're doing now?
I think it's, I think a lot of it is like the commitment. I feel like the routine kind of thing of like getting up, training, doing this, doing that. It's like, even still, I think that is like installed in me. I think hard work. I think people don't realise how hard work it is to be a footballer. I think the thing, you just go around kicking a ball around all day, but I think it is hard work mentally as well. I think you have ups and downs and you have to deal with that. And I think people don't realise that, like I said, I think my first daughter's 2 Christmases, I was both away, working away, and people don't see that enough. I think they just think, oh, you get paid a lot of money, but not everyone gets paid like the thousands, and stuff. So but yeah, I think it's hard work and resilience. I think to be in football for a period of time, you need that resilience. And I think that's what I think I have when I've sort of not got jobs or not gone for things. It's just bouncing back and sort of thinking, what can I do next? What can I I really think that's probably a transferable skill that I've probably used.
Yeah, definitely. And with regards to kind of sport, let's call it football, because obviously that's what we're familiar with. Do you think retirement should be approached in a different way?
Probably. I think there should be. I do think there should be more like advice and guidance, and I really do think it's pretty much once you're no use to football clubs, I feel like then they sort of don't see you as any worth, kind of thing, in a way. I think a lot of it, when I left, it's like, you've done your job here, that's it, you know what I mean? You're no use to us now, sort of thing, really. And I've sort of found that that it's like, well, no one really checks on you whether what you're doing, or so I feel like there should be more checks maybe done. I don't know whether that's the club or the PFA or who it is, that probably check in on people, because not everyone sort of has it. Like, I've got a good family behind me, but I know not everyone sort of has that, really. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously during your 18 years, you played for Walsall. Were they in the Championship at that point when you were playing for them?
They played in the Championship quite a few years, about 5 years I was in the Championship. Yeah, we were sort of in League One, Championship, and got relegated down to League Two, sort of, and then back in League One just as I left, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously with the Championship, it's probably one of the most competitive leagues across the world. How did you find it playing at that level?
I really enjoyed it. I felt like I come into my own. I felt good. I think I sort of stepped up. The challenge, the more challenging, I sort of stepped up, and I enjoyed like pitting my wits against like some good teams in there back in the day. So it was like you said, it is really competitive. We was always punching above our weight at Walsall because we were a small club really in the Championship, but we managed a few seasons to sort of like we got relegated our first season I got up, but then we managed 3 or 4 seasons in there just like surviving. But like you said, it was like the teams what we were playing against, did well really, I think.
Yeah, and then obviously you mentioned you got relegated a few times. Then obviously once you've left Walsall, you've kind of dropped down the leagues, which tends to happen. And obviously I've experienced that as well. How did you find it, kind of dropping down the leagues, coming from that level where you sustained a career to that point in the Championship and League One, and then filtering down the football pyramid? How did you find it with the facility changes and the level of kind of, well, the standard of football maybe not to what you were used to?
It was quite weird at first because like I left Walsall and then went to Luton, which was sort of a bigger sort of club in terms of like and the facilities were all so they had their own training ground where Walsall didn't at the time. So it was a weird kind of thing because they were sort of probably better facilities than I've had at Walsall sort of, but like I said, I was playing in League Two for Luton. We got relegated because we had the 30 points took off us. And like I said, it's great to see him back in the Premier League now, sort of after the other day. But yeah, after that, like went to Kettering, and it was sort of a bit of a culture shock. But I quite enjoyed that kind of less pressure in a way. I enjoyed my football at Kettering. Especially the first season I was there, because I think I enjoyed that it wasn't sort of as pressurised, as much as sort of playing at Walsall and Luton. There was quite less fans, but I quite enjoyed like the facilities, and it wasn't quite as thingy. And I think I didn't mind. I don't know whether I've never really been one for like being flash and having. And at Walsall, we were in the Championship and we were still washing our own kit and stuff. So it wasn't like that much of a culture shock, really. It was like coming down. It was like ease down. But then sort of after Kettering, I went to Bedworth, which was like I think 3 divisions below the conference, 3 or 4, and we had a good set of lads. We won promotion in the first season, but it was just like sometimes I was thinking, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
We were traveling quite a bit away. I was at college at the time, so like my Saturdays took all my week at college doing bits and bobs. So it was sort of and I think during the second season when I was at Bedworth, I think we'd got promoted and we were travelling like down to Eastbourne, and it was like 4 hours on a coach on a Saturday, and I was thinking, do I need this really at my age? My knees were starting to go a bit. I was starting to get a few injuries in my knees, so it was in a case of, do I just give it up? I've enjoyed my time playing. I'd rather not like have to go out injured, or I'll just go out when I thought that was the time really to sort of give it up really. Yeah.
Sure. No, that makes sense. And then moving forward, I know you said obviously that you think that more needs to be done to assist footballers when it comes to transitioning and obviously everything around that space. Is there any advice that you'd give kind of any footballers who are in that process, or maybe mindset of either transitioning in the future, or they may be at the actual stage now where they're transitioning but they're not sure what to do? And this could be anyone at any age in the football kind of fraternity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think probably try and get as much qualifications or as you can as early. I think that's. I think I wish I'd have done a lot more while I was playing, but like you said, it was all took up with playing and all thinking, focusing on what I was doing at the time. I think if I'd have had me time again, I'd have probably gone back and done some qualifications while I was still playing. There's a lot of time what you have as a footballer that like traveling to and from matches and like in the afternoons. So I think there's a lot of time what you do get where you could be doing stuff that's like beneficial for you in the future. And I think that's what I'd probably, because I had to then go back to college, do my GCSEs at sort of 37 after why doing my degree as well. So it was like, it's tougher then. So I would be like, try and get as much as you can when you're younger, really. That would be my advice, really.
Great advice, mate. And if you want to just let everyone know where you're currently working, just in case there's someone out there who may want to reach out to you.
I'm working at the Isle of Wight College as a learning support assistant. So yeah, it's good, really rewarding working with like young adults and helping them like. And it's not even it's just we're in every sort of bit of the college. So I'm working in engineering this year, but I've been working in motor vehicle and horticulture, so maths and English. So it's really good. It's rewarding. I like it there. So yeah.
Good stuff. No, I really appreciate it, and I'm glad you're doing really well. It seems like you're really happy. Really appreciate your time coming on today. Can anyone find you on social media anywhere at all?
Oh, I'm not really on. I'm on LinkedIn, but apart from that, I'm pretty stay off social media. I'm not really that tech savvy, so yeah.
Nah, no problem. Well, like I said, all the best for the future. I really appreciate you coming on. Stay in touch and good luck.
All the best, thanks. Cheers.
Thank you, mate. See you later.
See ya.